Hello my angels, welcome to TJS Tarot. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. My name is TJ. I am a psychic divination reader and witch, and I'm so happy to have you here. For those of you who are returning to my channel, welcome back. I'm just as equally as happy to have you here as well. Today we are looking into should you move on. So as far as this goes, it can represent a number of things. It could be whatever situation that you are curious about and wondering if you should move on or, move forward from. This could represent, an intimate relationship. This could be a friendship. This can be maybe just a situation with a friend or a loved one. This can be related to work. Whatever the situation that you've been wondering whether or not you should let go of, this is the reading for you. So I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to be using any oracle cards today. I'm purely going to use tarot. We are going to do a couple of spreads. We're going to look into your current situation and then move on to the next spread as far as should you move on or not. So make sure you are using your best judge of character, your own discernment, as far as, picking your pile. Please feel free to pause the video if you do need more time as far as, meditating on which pile to choose from. Keep in mind that this is a general reading for a large group of people. So whatever doesn't resonate, leave it for somebody else. If you really feel as though that none of it is clicking, none of it is resonating for you, I recommend choosing another pile. If you feel as though that neither of the piles are resonating with you, then maybe this reading isn't meant for you at this time. All right, so without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with pile 1, and I will see you there. Welcome, my pile 1s, to your reading. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to look into your current situation as far as if you should move on. So please and thank you, Spirit, for connecting me to my pile 1's energy, looking into their current situation of what they're wondering what they should move on from. What is my pile 1's current situation? Oh, okay. Wow. There it is. So I really feel as though, okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep this one as well. Let's go ahead and move this over. So so this could involve, I really feel like this is someone you really care about. This could be a romantic connection. Since we have the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Cups, the Four of Wands, I mean, these are all very like happy, loving, abundant, emotionally abundant cards. The center card that we have here is the Four of Wands. So that's all about, a happy home life, stable home life, celebration. Can also represent soulmate energy or twin flame energy as well. But this is something that is equally balanced. Everything, there's that vitality there. And with the Ace of Cups and the Ten of Cups here, I feel like your current situation could involve maybe a long distance relationship. As I was placing, the King of Wands in reverse and the Strength reverse, that's where I was like, that's where it is. So you could be feeling maybe a little bit neglected, or you could be wondering what the opposing person is thinking. This person could be a Leo, by the way, or a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but I am getting very heavy Leo energy. We have Wands and we have Cups here. So there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of passion, a lot of emotional emotional strength, emotional bond that I could get. But this person makes you happy. This person, I feel like this could have been like a new love interest. I will say maybe this is a long distance relationship, if it is a relationship, because we have the Three of Wands here. That's all about travel or moving forward in something, because if you look at this person, they're looking beyond the horizon. So I feel like you are invested. I feel like there is a lot of potential. There is a lot of good promise here, but your person of interest could be the one that's really weighing things down, or you could be wondering why they are distant or why they're not fully committing. So usually when king or queens are in the reverse, I like to see that as like a low vibrational energy. They are not at their fullest potential, or they are not fully embodying what they could, as far as what the king and queen of whatever element, you know, represents. In this case, I'm really feeling like this person isn't putting a lot of energy, motivation, attention into this connection, even though the connection is very pure and very, very balanced, very nurturing, very loving, and has a lot of promise. Let's look a little bit further. So why the Ace of Cups, Spirit? Why the Ace of Cups? I feel like you could, there it is. Why the Ten of Cups? I feel like you're fully invested. Yeah, there's wanting to move forward. Why the Four of Wands, please, Spirit? Why is the Four of Wands here? Why is the Four of Wands here? And why the Three of Wands? Why is the Three of Wands here? And why the King of Wands in reverse and the Strength card in reverse? I feel as though this person doesn't feel confident, or I don't know if they feel scared about this connection. Yeah, there's a lot of sleepless nights. There's a lot of anxiety around this connection. I'm going to go ahead and zoom out really quick. There we go. I just want to make sure you can see everything. So I feel like this connection really scares them. And I think you're obviously feeling that. Or, you know, this could be you. Maybe you're the one who is scared of this connection. You know, things are going very well. Maybe there's some things that you need to... There's someone in this connection that is... All right, let me break this down. This connection as a whole is very beautiful. You guys have a lot in common. You guys really care about each other, if not, you know, love each other. I feel like there are a lot of really great elements here. I feel like you guys have a lot in common. You guys have a lot of promise. You guys know how to talk to each other, how to be there for each other emotionally. Everything just fits. That's what I'm getting from the Four of Wands energy. Everything just fits. Everything is just balanced. Everything is just is going very well. And there could be distance, or there could be with the Eight of Pentacles right underneath the Three of Wands here. I feel like someone needs to make a move. There could be like a physical distance between you guys, or someone is not moving forward, or you guys aren't coming together physically because maybe work is getting in the way. Maybe there's other distractions. Maybe there's other priorities that are getting in the way. And I feel like one of you guys, I don't feel like it's both of you. I mean, it could be both of you if that resonates, but I really feel like one person is more prominent than the other. And I feel as though, you know, if you're the one who is scared of this connection, someone here, you know, regardless of the situation, whoever is the one that is fearful of this connection, I really recommend you do some shadow work. I'm not telling you, you know, to go to therapy or anything, but I do really recommend everybody, you know, have a therapist and talk with a therapist, because it really is beneficial in more ways than one. It's one of those things that you're not going to regret ever having a therapist or going to therapy. Okay. So with that said, someone needs to work some stuff out. Someone needs to really sort out their feelings and their emotions and their, you know, fears of moving forward with this connection. I feel like one person for sure is offering their cup. This could be you. This could be your person of interest. But there is, you know, someone literally holding out their heart to somebody else, but they're scared. They're very avoidant to it. And it's so funny how we have the clouds in the hand. Literally, someone is just ignoring this cup. And I feel like this person could be feeling sorry for themselves, or they're very hesitant, or they're very anxious about, you know, this consistent love or support or engagement that they're receiving from the opposing person. I'm also picking up if both of you are on the same page as far as being very intimidated by this connection, because I feel like this is a very strong magnetic connection. If both of you are kind of hesitant about it, I feel like it's the universe that is like, hello, you guys are supposed to be together. You guys are supposed to learn from each other. You guys fit. You guys, or outside sources. You know, it could be the universe. I'm really picking up on higher forces really encouraging and supporting this connection and loving this connection, because I really feel like this is a divine union, especially since we have, you know, the Four of Wands there. Wow. Yeah, Ten of Cups and Eight of Wands. This is something like, I feel like the more that you guys connect with one another, the more that you guys spend time with each other, talk to each other, it's like you guys are, you know, continuously moving up the ladder. Like everything is just getting better and better and better. And it's like more reason for you guys to be together, or more, it's like the more as you guys find out about each other, it's like the puzzle, like so think of it as like a puzzle. That's like what I'm picturing in my mind. Think of it as like your relationship is a puzzle. And the more that you guys learn about each other and grow with each other and nurture each other and are there for each other or spend time with each other, you know, that puzzle is coming together, and you guys are eventually going to see the full picture of what, you know, the puzzle is supposed to be, you know, a symbolism anyway, you could say. But with the Death in reverse here, I feel like it's still an immature connection. I feel like there is still room to grow. This, you know, something needs to happen. It's at a standstill. This relationship is at a standstill. Like someone really needs to come forward. There could be a geographical distance between you guys, or there could be one person just debating on coming towards you or moving towards the other person. Like you guys may have not had like a physical union, or maybe it's very hard for you guys to get together. Could be due to work or like schedules or other priorities. But whoever this Leo is, doesn't have to be a Leo, could just possibly have Leo in their chart, or just give very heavy like Leo energy. Someone who's very proud, someone who is very loyal, but is also very very stubborn, because Leo is a fixed sign. So they are very stubborn based on what they think is right, what they think they should do instead of what they want to do, if that makes sense. But a lot of sleepless nights. This person could really be losing sleep, maybe having nightmares. Maybe this is where they stress out the most, is probably when they're going to sleep. But this is all about like anxiety, very cerebral energy, since it is represented by the swords. Like it's something that they're constantly thinking about and ruminating like in their mind about what they're going to do about this connection. Just kind of funny. Like someone is scared. Someone is scared to make a move. Someone is scared to jump the gun. Someone is scared about fully giving into this situation or giving into this connection. And I feel like because of that, you are wondering, is this even worth me staying? Because you could either be wondering, you are one or the other. You are either very scared about this connection. You're wondering if you're going to get hurt again, possibly, or you could be wondering, you know, is this even worth me investing my time and energy in, if this person is still ruminating on the fact of, you know, whether or not they want this connection. So let's go ahead, and If you feel as though that resonates, let's go ahead and dive in and see if you should move on or not. Please and thank you, Spirit, for connecting to my pile ones. Pile one's energy and their person of interest. Should they move on from this connection? Should my pile ones move on from this connection with their person in question? Interesting. With the Judgment card as the center card here, I'm getting, they want you to trust yourself in this situation. If you really feel like this is something that can grow and become, like, you need to trust yourself in this situation. You need to trust your gut. You need to trust your divine wisdom. And you need to be very honest with yourself. You know, if you're the one that is scared about moving forward with this connection, then you really need to take time and you need to realize what is best for you at the end of the day. And not only best for you, but what do you want? Do you want this? Do you think that it's worth, you know, this is all about you. This is about your own, you know, reflection. You know, Judgment is all about, you know, it's a very victorious card, but it's all about, you know, trusting the divine, but also trusting your own judgment as well. You know, knowing that everything is going to be okay, knowing that there are brighter days ahead, that you are, you know, deserving of what it is that you want. And you know, what is it that you want? Do you want this connection? Do you want to be with this person? Do you think it is, you know, worth your time and energy and the sacrifice and the, you know, the is it worth it? Is this connection worth it? Is this person worth it? You know, personally, based on the energy that I was picking up in the last spread, I truly feel like it is. You know, it's very rare that you come across a connection as pure and honest and sweet and balanced as, you know, the energy that I was picking up on. You know, so if you are asking me in my, you know, personal and professional opinion, I really feel like this is worth investing your time and energy and you know, love and heart and soul into. I really do think it is worth the investment. Is it going to be work? Are there going to be like a couple of challenges along the way, especially if there's like a geographical distance? Yeah, I mean, it's going to be there's effort that is going to have to, you know, be made, you know, and there's also laziness that needs to kind of be pushed aside. Like, there does need to be some momentum in order for things to progress. But, you know, if you really feel as though that this is something that you want, if this is something that you desire, if this is something that you are willing to go after, then I say go after it. You know, let's go ahead and pick some clarifiers. So why the Knight of Pentacles in reverse? Why is the Knight of Pentacles here? The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Why the Six of Wands? Why is the Six of Wands here? Why the Judgment? Why the Ten of Wands? And why the Emperor? Got the Strength card again. something has to be resolved here. There has to be conversations that needs to be had. There needs to be, you guys need to get on the same page. You guys need to be open and honest about what this is, what kind of connection it is, what it is that you want. There needs to be some hard conversations. And not only with each other, but with yourselves. Whoever it is that is very fearful of this connection, my guides literally said, get a grip. Get a grip, because there are literally so much worse things that could be going on in your life right now. And the fact that you actually have something that can be very, victorious and beautiful and special, and you're turning your back on it. So as far as like, if you should move on, I feel like that is completely up to you. If you feel like you are unhappy, then I would say, take a step back and focus on something else maybe. But I feel like something needs to be resolved in this connection. They're telling me don't be a coward. Like, don't just walk away from this without any integrity. Honestly, like, to answer your question, I don't think you should move on. I mean, as far as moving on, okay, I'm going to say this. As far as moving on from this connection to focus on yourself, to mend things, heal things, become a better person just so you're able to invest in this later on, then I say yes, move on. Or, take a step back, take a breather. As far as moving on and just ghosting this person, absolutely not. You should not move on that way. There needs to be some conversation that needs to be had. There is a lot of fear I'm picking up on. There is a lot of conflict, but I feel like this is inner conflict. You guys could also be mirroring each other, because see how these are right side up, and then these are all like reversed, and then these two are right side up. These are very powerful cards, by the way. This is Aries energy. This is Leo energy. This is all about going after what it is that you want, being in your element, being in your, this is even like a divine masculine card as well. This is leadership. This is the best parts of masculine, making things happen, bringing things into fruition. Strength card, that's all about inner strength. That's all about courage. That's all about, taming the beast, taming the things that are scary, taming, our wild side, but also taming, things that are uncertain with a lot of grace and understanding and, oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? And, love, basically. This is, so as far as if you should move on, since these are like the very last cards that we have here, I don't think you should. I think there are a lot of things unfolding. I think there are a lot of things to come. There's a lot of healing. There's a lot of, emotional conflict is what I'm picking up on. I really feel as though that you make each other happy, but there's just such an imbalance in showing up the way that you're supposed to show up. If you are the person who is not scared and you want this connection and you want things to move forward, I wouldn't fully move on from this connection. I would say, take a step back and focus on yourself and do what is best for you. Use your own judgment as far as like what is, fairest to you, and maybe not give too much attention and energy into this person and have them figure stuff out. And I feel like if you do go that route, I feel like they are going to feel it and they are going to want to, come towards you, and it's going to create even more conflict within themselves in order to get to that point where they have to resolve it. All right? They really need to tame the beast. They really need to tame, you know, whatever beast is inside. And when I say beast, I mean that's like the conflict. That is the fear. That is the intensity of their feelings and emotions. All right? If you are the one who is fearful and you don't know if you should move on, if this connection is delusional, I say no. I feel like you really need to buck up and you really need to be there for yourself. And when I say be there for yourself, I mean heal those parts of you that feel incomplete. I feel like if you're the one who is fearful, I feel like, you know, the opposite, you know, your person in question really cares about you. I feel like they really care about you and they really could help you to move past any kind of struggles that you're facing. They really do care about you. I feel like they're the type that wants to celebrate with you. So if you're feeling low, if you're feeling down and out, if you're feeling, you know, depressed, they want to celebrate with you. They want, you know, you to be in this, you know, victorious energy. They want to raise your vibration. They want to help you raise the vibration. So if you are, you know, detaching from this person because you're scared, that's not living in your truth, and that's not being honest with yourself, you know, and you're inevitably, you know, hurting this person by pulling away. Because I feel like all they want to do is enjoy you and enjoy, you know, the connection that you have. So as far as, you know, moving on, no, I don't think you should. I mean, obviously at the end of the day, everybody has free will, but I feel like involving this person in your hardships would really benefit you, because I feel like they could hold a lot of wisdom. I feel like they could have possibly gone through a lot of hardships, and they've known how to, you know, navigate that and become, you know, their own version of the emperor, their own version of, you know, dominating their life and dominating, you know, the hardships that they've gone through, you know, emotional turmoil. All right. So to answer your question, should you fully move on? No. I mean, you could take a step back to, you know, tend to yourself, tend to your needs, your emotional needs. But I don't think you should move on from this connection. I think this connection is beautiful, and I think it has a deeper meaning than what you realize. And if anything, you know, this connection could be something very healing, very beautiful, and could make you into a better individual. All right. So that's all I have for you today, my pile ones. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment down below if this did resonate. I really want to hear if it did. I want to know your 2 cents. I would love to hear it, and I will see you next time. Bye. Welcome, my pile twos. Let's go ahead and dive in. Let's look into your current situation regarding what you should move on from. Please and thank you, Spirit, for connecting with pile two's energy. King of Cups, King of Wands. I don't know why I just picked up on like a love triangle or something. Pentacles. Are you guys trying to decide between 2 people? I don't know why I'm picking up on like 2 different... Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna speak too soon. Why the King of Cups here? Why the King of Cups? Why the King of Wands? of Swords. Damn, we almost have every single king here. Why the Page of Wands? Pentacles. Why the Three of Pentacles? Why the Three of Pentacles, please? Okay, why the Hanged Man? Why the Hanged Man? Sorry, if you need to fast forward the video, please do. Let's see. Okay. So this could, I'm getting that you're possibly distracted. You could be distracted by, okay, this is what I'm picking up on. So you are the Page of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse here. I don't know if you feel a little bit distracted by someone, or this could have to do with dating. This could have to do with maybe you're dating somebody, maybe you're seeing somebody, maybe you've been wondering whether or not you should be giving, more than likely, a masculine, your attention. We have the King of Swords, the King of Wands, the King of Cups, and then the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, which I find very interesting. You know, so I don't know if you're like entertaining someone or if you're entertaining multiple people. If it is one individual, I feel as though that they have mastered their emotional, their, even, you know, it could be, you know, sexual or like passionate energy and their intellectual energy. But when it comes to like their finances, I feel as though maybe they are not quite there yet, because we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, which is interesting. So that's the only king that we don't have, is the King of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Pentacles, but she's in the reverse position. So I don't know if you feel as though that this has something to do with balance. This has something to do with somebody else. And I don't know if you, because I feel like you have a very innocent energy. You're very passionate. You have a lot of motivation. You have a lot of drive. This is very, very, I just think of, you know, like fire sign children. You know, they're so passionate, they're so driven, or any kind of child, you know, they just want to understand things. They want to see how things work. They have the stamina, they have the enthusiasm. That's what it is. They have the enthusiasm to go out and get what it is that they want. I feel like you are definitely in that element. In the Seven of Pentacles here, I feel like this is you wondering whether or not what you should be investing your time in. And I feel like that's what you're wondering about. Should you move on from, you know, whatever it is that's distracting you over here, or should you be moving forward with creating stability and really, really navigating or shifting your focus, basically shifting your perspective, shifting your focus on something else. But I feel as though that if you feel like you do that, you may regret something. You know what I mean? But this definitely has to do with finances. That has to do with, you know, feeling safe and secure in whatever situation it is. Or possibly if this doesn't involve another person, maybe this is you. Maybe you feel as though you've been stressing about finances and you've been wondering if you should like move on and just focus on, you know, being happy, or, you know, finding something else, or, you know, moving on. This could also be, you know, a job as well. It's another thing that I'm picking up on. Tell me more. Tell me more about all of these kings and this Queen of Pentacles here. Tell me more about this. The Wheel of Fortune. Something that is fated. Tell me more. They're telling me, the World, or the Empress, sorry. Wow. 2 major arcanas to clarify that. That is wild. I just heard you have everything that you need. Okay, I'm picking up on multiple things. So this could represent, I don't know if you're everything that this person needs. I don't know if you're like the missing piece or the missing link. But they're also telling me that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to work out the way that it needs to. Something about a missing piece or a missing puzzle piece. I don't know if you're the missing piece. If this has to do with somebody else, you could possibly be, you know, the missing puzzle piece in order to help them become, you know, the King of Pentacles as well. Wow. That's pretty powerful. That's really powerful. Maybe you're wondering, you know, this also could be a friend too. It doesn't have to be romantic, although it could be. But maybe you're wondering if you should move on from trying to help this person, trying to help them, you know, financially. So as far as like you moving on, maybe you're wondering if you should be focusing elsewhere. You should be investing your time and your energy somewhere else, because I feel like you may have your own like financial insecurities or financial situations going on as well. Because I feel like your main focus is moving into something that's successful and stable and secure. And you want to make sure that your perspective is staying sharp. You don't want to be discouraged, and you don't really want to go back into this dim energy. I feel like you're coming out of that. You're coming out of, you know, whatever, you know, debt or, you know, low vibrational attachment to money. You're coming out of hardships, which is really good. I'm really glad that the Five of Pentacles is in reverse here, because I feel like you're trying to come out of, you know, a lack mindset or some type of connection or relation to poverty. This is a very interesting spread. This could have to do with somebody else, or this could just have to do with you. I mean, as far as moving on, maybe you're wondering, but what would you be moving on from? Let's look even deeper. If this just involves, you know, my pile 2 situation, what would they be moving on from? Seven of Cups. Oh, okay. Options. Okay. You could be questioning something. Maybe if this is, you know, a connection, you could be wondering, you know, this is something that is like a little bit like it's stumping you. And I feel like you know, the Seven of Cups, that's all about choices. That's all about decisions. It's so funny. You see kind of like snakes and ladders in a way. You know, what's going to benefit me and what's not. And I feel like you're kind of at your wit's end as far as like, should I stay? Should I go? Should I keep, you know, helping this person? Should I keep investing, you know, myself into this person? Because you may be aware that you really could benefit this person's life, but they could be, you know, holding back or limiting you, or maybe even possibly taking advantage of you in you know, to a certain degree. But as far as, you know, walking away, this could, you know, just give you a lot of like confusion and indecision about, you know, your emotional space. All right. If that resonated, my pile 2s, let's go ahead and look into whether or not you should move on. All right. I'm going to pause you for a second just so I can shuffle. All right, so let's go ahead and look into, should you move on from this situation? Should my pile 2s move on from this situation? This is something you have to meditate on, my loves. I feel like you are going to find truth, and you're going to find what it is that you're looking for based on going within and being very honest with yourself, because I feel like you could have a sense of, you know, stubbornness around the situation. You may be just like a very loyal individual, but I feel like at the end of the day, you really need to do what's best for you. And you need to maintain, because look at this, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Three of Swords, the Three of Pentacles in reverse. That's not ideal energy. If you should, you know, move on or not. If you're feeling this way, if you're feeling heartbroken, if you're feeling, you know, a lack, if you're not feeling abundant, if you're not feeling appreciated or radiant in any way, then I feel like you should. But let's go ahead, and I don't want to speak too soon, so let's go ahead and clarify the situation. Why the Four of Pentacles? Why the Hermit? Just one, please, Spirit. Why the Hermit? Why is the Hermit here? Why is the Hermit here? Why is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse here? Why the Three of Swords? Dang, why the Three of Pentacles in reverse? Five of Swords. Ooh, this is heavy energy, my pile twos. So should you move on? You know what's funny is I'm hearing you should move through this, whatever that means. If this is a hardship, if this has to do with you and you alone, I feel like you need to trudge through the mud. You need to go, you know, full speed ahead, because I feel like you do have, you know, that passion, that wisdom. You know, Queen of Wands is a very attractive energy, and Four of Pentacles is very loyal, can be very, you know, fixed energy. You could be a fixed sign. You could even be a Leo, because with Queen of Wands here, that's fire, and then Leo is a fixed fire sign. So, you know, I feel like you have what it takes in order to overcome this obstacle, whatever it is. If it is involving another person, I feel like you really need to put yourself first. And I feel like you need to kind of detach from this person. So as far as moving on, I don't want to say moving on, but just moving through this situation, if that makes sense. You know, moving on for me is like you are, I don't want to say giving up, but for me, moving on is, you know, I'm putting this relationship, I'm putting this, you know, dynamic to rest, and I'm going to heal from it, and I'm going to completely remove myself altogether. Like you're not coming back into my life. This, I feel like it's more healing, like you need to heal from this situation. Whatever hardships are attached to it, I feel like this has to do with money. There's a lot of healing that needs to go on, whatever that means for you. So as far as moving on, whatever that means to you, you definitely need to do what's best for you. With the Hermit here, that's a lot of introspection. And I feel like you have the power within you in order to make that happen. If this is involving another person, if you've been helping this person, if this person has been taking advantage of you, then I would definitely retreat. I would definitely pull back your energy. And I would definitely focus on you, because this person could also be draining you. This person could be holding you back or tying you down, tying your energy down. Because I really feel as though, like, how is it that we're starting off so strong and then it's literally so dark? That makes no sense to me. I feel like if you continue to give this person your energy or everything that you have without, you know, putting your needs first, I feel like you are going to end up heartbroken. So as far as, you know, moving on, whatever that means to you, I definitely, your answer for this is you need to put yourself first. You know, if you don't want to lose this person, then I would set very clear and heavy boundaries and I would stick to them. If you feel as though that there is no way for you to, like, stay friendly, stay friends, you know, stay in each other's lives without, you know, boundaries being broken, or maybe you can't, you know, you can't help yourself, or you can't resist, or it's just like so hard, or, you know, whatever the case may be, I really want you to go back into making decisions for yourself and being honest with the situation in itself. I don't know. I really feel like you're going to end up getting hurt if you continuously, you know, put this person on a pedestal, if you continuously put this person's needs before your own. Because I feel like you're meant to flourish. You're meant to be, because I'm looking at all of these, you know, supposed to be right side up as far as like the pentacles, like the happy ones. You're meant to go out and get what it is that you want. You're meant to go out and get what you deserve. If this person is like stealing from you, stealing money or stealing assets from you, then you need to lay that to rest. Because I feel like they're dimming your shine in a way. And I feel like you're meant to be successful. So I definitely would detach from this person. I would move on as far as taking back your energy, taking back your power, and continue to take care of you and you alone. All right. This person has to go through their own thing, whatever that may be. Okay. It's not fair for them to tie you down and keep you, hold you, you know, prisoner for, you know, their junk that they're responsible for. All right. Well, that's all I have for you today, my pile twos. I really hope this resonated. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment down below if you feel called to do so. I genuinely want to know if this resonated, and I will see you next time. Bye. Welcome, my pile threes, to your reading. Let's go ahead and look into your current situation as far as what you're curious if you should move on from. So, what are my pile threes' current situation? Temperance, something you've been patient about. My pile threes' current situation. Okay. I wonder if this has to do with a project, maybe a passion project, something that you've been dedicating your time and energy into doing, something that could make you really financially set. Temperance. Why the Temperance card? Just one, please, Spirit. Just one card, please. The Temperance card. Thank you. You could be, yeah, so far what I'm getting, this could involve like a passion project. This could involve maybe like a group of people, or this could involve just something that you've been doing on the side. Maybe it's like a side hustle. Maybe it's something that requires a lot of like time and dedication. It can involve more people, or like a community, but it's something that is requiring a lot of fight. A lot of energy. Could also be like a lot of labor. But it's something that is requiring a lot of patience from you, and you feel as though that it could really pay off. You feel like you could end up very abundant if you continue to invest your time and energy into this situation, whatever it is, with Justice reversed, and then Three of Pentacles reversed. I feel as though that maybe it's not coming out as balanced, it's not coming out as successful and as stable as you thought. Why the Nine of Pentacles? Why is the Nine of Pentacles here? Why the Seven of Wands? What's the Seven of Wands here? It's not going anywhere. Something isn't going anywhere, and you're wondering whether or not you should just throw in the towel. Why is the Justice reversed? And why is Three? Yeah, you're on the fence. You're wondering whether or not yeah, you feel iffy. You feel very conflicted about this situation. You're wondering whether or not, I don't know. I feel like it has to do with work, or it has to do with some kind of project. If this has to do with a person, I feel like this person obviously isn't pulling their weight. They're not, you know, showing up the way that they should. They're not showing up. Also, I just wanted to preface, it's overcast right now, so that's why you keep seeing my lighting kind of go in and out, so I apologize in advance. But back to this, if this does have to do with another person or another group of people, I feel like you are definitely pulling your own weight. You're definitely the one who maybe cares about this a lot more than others. And I feel like you could start, you could be in the process, or you could currently be slowing down from investing as much, you know, time and energy as you were before, because you're tired of always constantly keeping the momentum, because it's uneven, it's imbalanced, and it's unjust. There's no commitment, there's no dedication, there's no stability in this. Like, you're wondering if it's even going to pay off, if this is even worth doing, because you're not really seeing the results that you want. Yeah, and I feel like you're put into a situation where you continuously have to be patient, but like, when is this going to pay off? So it's like, should I just move on from this? Should I, you know, throw in the towel? Should I, you know, invest my energy somewhere else? I'm also picking up, maybe this is, if this does involve another person, maybe a family member, maybe a friend, maybe you're trying to help them, maybe you're trying to help them financially, maybe you're trying to give them advice or wisdom or guidance, and they're just not taking it. You're not seeing any results. At the end of the day, you are putting energy into something and you're not seeing any results, and you're wondering if you should just move on and throw in the towel and be like, I'm done. Or if you feel as though that this is actually going to get somewhere, and you know, if you should continue to, you know what I mean? Like, you're just wondering if if it's worth your energy. So my pile threes, if you feel as though that resonated, let's go ahead and move forward with if you should move on or not. Please and thank you, Spirit, for connecting me to my pile threes energy and their current situation. Should they move on? Should they move on from this situation that we just looked into? Should my pile threes move on to bigger and better things? Thank you, Spirit. I just heard, I don't know if you've been saying this to yourself, or, but this is literally like what I heard was, I'm going to give it one more chance, or I'm going to give it one more try, and if it doesn't do anything, then I'm done. Because you are, Yeah, you could possibly like be going back and forth. Like the situation stresses you out, but you're also, you could be a control freak, or you could be so obsessed with like wanting to see the results because you've, you know, put so much, you know, time and energy into this situation that you're like, but I can't let go. Like I have to, you know, and I feel like you're at that point where it's like, okay, I'm going to give, you know, this person or this situation, or this project one more go, one more chance. And if I don't see any results, then I'm done. And I feel like that is what this is right here. So 10 of Swords in reverse, and then the Ace of Cups. All right, let's go ahead and clarify some things. Why the 9 of Wands in reverse? Why is the 9 of Wands here? Why the Chariot? Why the 8 of Swords in reverse? Why the Hermit reversed? And why, okay, did want to come. They're saying if you want to give it one last go, one last try, you're more than welcome to. But as far as seeing any results, I think you're going to end up disappointed. I think you would be more successful doing something else with this Ace of Cups here. I feel like there is, I'm going to clarify, why the Ace of Cups and why the 5 of Cups? What does that mean exactly? What do you mean by those? Why are those there? I don't want to speak too soon, so that's why I was asking. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oops. Tell me more. Should they still move on? Interesting. You know, since we have the Hermit card here reversed, I would definitely meditate on this. I'm getting... Now I'm a little bit... I don't want to say I'm confused. Because at first... Oh, okay, that's what it is. I think you're going to reach a level of disappointment with this situation. I feel like you're going to try again. Spirit is like, if you want to, you know, try again, you're more than welcome to try again. I feel like there is going to be a little bit of stagnation, a little more stagnation to come, probably some more, you know, disappointment. Maybe things aren't turning out the way that you thought. And then something changes. Then you start seeing something. Then you start seeing, you know, then you start seeing progress. Because with the 3 of Wands in reverse, that's someone not moving towards something else. If we got the 3 of Wands right side up, I would have been like, yeah, you should give up on this situation. You should go find better. And I was almost going to say that. I was almost going to say like, no, I think you're going to end up disappointed and there could be something else on the horizon. But then I saw the Ace of Cups, and then I saw, you know, the 5 of Cups, because with the 5 of Cups, there are still 2 cups lingering, you know, behind, you know, and then we got the Sun, and then we got Justice, and, you know, we got the 3 of Wands in reverse. So I feel like, I'll say this. I wouldn't put as much time and energy into this project. I feel like there will still be moments, just a little bit longer, as far as not seeing many results or not seeing real progress until like the very end of something. Maybe summertime. Maybe something as maybe like Leo season, maybe Libra season, something like along those lines. I don't know if that's helpful. It doesn't have to apply. But it's like up until like the very end, when you think like nothing, like everything is just stagnant, like it is a lost cause. You're literally walking away, and then boop, the sun is shining. The Ace of Cups is in front of you. Things are balancing out from the Justice. I feel like this is going to come to you when you least expect it, whatever this may be. All right, sorry that this is a little bit vague, but as far as like, should you move on? I don't know. I don't think so. I definitely feel as though that you should maybe not put as much of yourself into this as you have been. I would definitely pull back. But I wouldn't fully throw in the towel, if that makes sense. I mean, if it's stressing you out and it's, you know, making you sick and stuff like that, then yeah, definitely pull back your energy and, you know, go find something else. But I feel like if this is involving another person, I definitely wouldn't invest as much like time and energy into them as you have been. But I feel like you are going to see progress at like the very end of something. It's almost as if when, you know, you've heard it all or you've seen it all and you're like, wow, like, so this is how it's going to be, or like, this is, you know, how it ends. And then happiness and fulfillment and something new like pops up suddenly. Maybe it pops up somewhere else, but I mean, I don't really see you walking away per se. I mean, this is what I see. I see you walking away and someone is calling after you, and you turn around and you're like, oh, you know, it's in many movies, but you know, when one person is waiting for, or oh, what's that movie? Homeward Bound. I think that's what that movie is called. So, oh, this movie makes me cry every single time. But it's at the end with, they're waiting for the golden retriever to, I think Shadow, I think that's his name. And, oh, I'm going to get emotional because I'm literally like playing it in my brain. But, you know, the son is like waiting for Shadow, and Shadow never comes because he's older. He's an old man. He's an old dog. And so, you know, the son is literally like so heartbroken. It's like, that's it. Like, you know, he's gone. Why am I getting emotional? I haven't seen this movie in so many years, but this part gets me every single time. You know, it's that moment of like really letting things set in and accepting things like for how they are. And then last minute, you know, Shadow comes and wow, why am I freaking crying? So, you know, Shadow comes and he's running towards him. It's like a moment like that where it's like you've literally given up all hope and then something surprises you. I can't believe I was getting emotional right now, just literally replaying Homeward Bound, the end of Homeward Bound in my brain. Anyway, that is all I have for you today, my pile threes. I really hope that this resonated. Make sure you like, subscribe, share this video if you feel called to do so. Comment down below if you feel called to do so. Please let me know if this resonated. I would love to hear, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Welcome, my pile fours, to your reading. Let's go ahead and tap into your current energy, your current situation of what you feel as though you're wondering if you should move on from. I have such a love and hate thoughts and feelings on a new deck. I love getting a new deck, but I hate how slippery they are whenever I shuffle. Hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. So let's go ahead and look into your current situation. King of Coins in reverse. High Priestess. You know, the High Priestess has yet to come up, I think. I had no idea it was Lydia. I love this. High Priestess. Queen of Coins reverse. There's the Tower. Cups reverse. Queen of Coins supposed to be reversed? Yeah, it is. All right. I'm not going to speak too soon. I'm going to pull some clarifiers. Why the King of Coins? Why is the King of Coins reversed here? Why is the King of Coins reversed? King of Swords reversed. Why is the High Priestess here? Why is the High Priestess here? Just one card, please, Spirit. Why is the High Priestess here? Thank you. Reverse. Why is the Queen of Coins here? This is something that you feel intuitively strongly about. Why is the Tower? One moment. Sorry about that. I dropped my cards. Sun. This is very interesting energy. Why the Seven of Cups? Why is the Seven of Cups reversed? All right. I'm picking up a little bit of stubbornness here. I feel like you have a little bit of, so the rest are reversals besides the High Priestess and the Sun. One moment. All right. Sorry, my pile four. So many interruptions with your reading. So as I was saying before, so the High Priestess and the Sun card, they were the only major arcanas that came up, and they are right side up. They are not in reverse. Everything else is in reverse. So this is telling me something that you feel intuitively guided towards, that you feel as though is going to make you happy, whatever situation this is. Even though like the practicality of everything, like the reality of everything that is actually happening may seem as though, I misspoke. The Tower is here too, which is a major arcana. Yeah, so as I was saying, so the reality of what's actually happening may seem like it's not promising, it's not going anywhere. There's no sense of security, there's no stability, there's a bit of like pessimism, there's, nothing's really emotionally fulfilling, and nothing's really balanced, and nothing is really changing. But you may feel as though intuitively, like you are guided towards something. You are guided towards, staying devoted, staying connected, staying optimistic about whatever situation it is. But because, in the reality of things, things aren't progressing and things aren't moving forward, it is kind of, making you wonder, like, is this just blind optimism? Like, am I, I feel this, in the heart of my hearts that I should, keep going, and I should keep, dedicating myself to this situation, even though I'm not seeing results, but there's just something that I can't let go of, or I know things are going to work out. I know things are going to end up, the way that I think, or the way that I, intuitively feel. Interesting. It could be a romantic connection. It literally could be anything. I'm not really picking up anything specific. Whatever the situation is, it is something that you feel intuitively called to, if that makes sense. This is all about like blind faith. That's what I'm picking up on. I'm kind of surprised that the Fool didn't come up, because that's what I'm picking up on. Like, even though you're not really seeing results yet, I feel like you believe you're going to see results down the road. This also could be something that maybe a lot of people have been, trying to convince you out of, or talk you out of, or be like, maybe, I'm not saying they're talking behind your back, but this is just an example of maybe they're thinking you're a bit delusional. Maybe you're a little naive about, you know, the situation. It's like, it's so obvious that nothing is going to change. It's so obvious that, you know, you're not going to be getting, you know, what you want. But like deep down, I think as though that you feel like, no, like something is going to happen. Like I have to just keep trying. I have to keep, you know, putting my efforts in. But at the same time, you're wondering, you know, like, you know, should I move on? Like, should I, like, it's more, I feel like this is more just confirmation for you if your intuition is speaking true. So if you feel as though that resonates with your current situation, let's go ahead and move forward and see whether or not you should move on or not. Please and thank you, Spirit. Thank you for connecting me to my pile fours, and thank you for checking to see if we can move on from this connection. I apologize, not connection, if they should move on from this situation. Do that. I'll be right back. I'm going to shuffle. All right. Please and thank you, Spirit, for my pile fours. Should they move on from this situation? Should my pile fours move on from this situation? Knight of Coins. Should my pile fours move on from this situation? Nine of Coins. Look at that. So if you needed confirmation on whether or not whoops. If you needed confirmation on whether or not your intuition was correct about that you are going to be getting what you want out of this situation, I feel like your intuition is correct. I feel like at the end of the day, it is going to require a little bit of healing from you. I feel like this does have to do with, so the reason why things aren't working out right now in like the present day is because it does require some healing. It does require you to, this is a lesson for you as well, like the reason why things aren't progressing the way that you feel like they should, or you just feel like everything is going to work out. I feel like leading up to things getting better is an opportunity for you to let stuff go and start navigating life a little bit differently. Why is the Knight of Coins here? Reverse. Why is the Nine of Coins here? Yeah, I feel as though things are going to be transforming. There is going to be movement. It's going to be slow movement, but movement nonetheless. Are you supposed to be right side up? Nope. Why is the Page of Cups here? Why the Page of Cups? I feel as though that you will become more abundant in this situation once you pull back your energy, you pull back your passion. The Emperor, yeah. I feel like that's how you're going to, look, King of Swords. Yeah, so the lesson for you here, the reason why things aren't progressing, like the reason why things are a bit dim and a bit stagnant at the moment is I feel like you're doing too much. I feel like you aren't seeing the big picture of the reason why things are the way that they are. This is an opportunity for you to shift and for you to change as well. You know, if this is involving like another person, if this is involving like a romantic connection or anything like that, I feel like the reason why things aren't working out and the reason why things aren't progressing the way that you feel like you should, I feel like it's because you need to I would recommend continue moving into you know, trusting your intuition on what you need to do next. I feel like you're putting a little bit too much effort and a little bit too much passion and vitality into whatever, you know, the situation is. It's not so much that you need to walk away. I don't think you need to move on. I think you just need to shift your perspective. And I think you need to start healing and learning from this. This is a learning experience for you as well. I feel like maybe possibly in the past you have been very devoted in giving your time, energy, blood, sweat, and tears into a situation or into other people. And it's kind of burnt you out and it's kind of gotten you, you know, nowhere. You could be the type that is just very easy. It's very easy for you to work for something that you want. Like that's what you're used to. And when it involves other people, when it involves other people's free will, it doesn't work like that, you know, because there are other, you know, beings involved in the situation. So I feel as though that you are going to start, you know, becoming happier and seeing progress and seeing abundances around you once you really take on this challenge of shifting your perspective of things. So I wouldn't recommend moving on. I really do think things that, you know, I think things are going to get better, and I think you're going to be very successful and get what it is that you want and get what it is that you've been intuitively feeling, without a doubt. But I feel as though that you need to pull back on your Queen of Wands energy. And so it's like by pulling back your energy, you're going to be evolving into, you know, the next best thing, which is like the Emperor energy. Almost as if like you have to, you know, pull back in order to, like, you just have to be willing to receive. You don't really have to work or do much. You just have to keep, you know, focusing on you. You know, continuously, you know, healing, continuously, you know, learning from this situation is what I'm getting. And I feel like there will be a conversation as far as mending things. This is also making me feel as though maybe journaling, maybe writing, maybe even creative writing if you're leaning into that. But this is all about communication. I feel like letting a lot of stuff out, really relieving a lot of hardships that maybe you've been going through. But I feel like also letting loose in a way as well is going to be very beneficial for you. Yeah, this is all about shifting your perspective. Because like everything is going to end up okay. Everything is going to be, you know, the way that you feel is going to be. It's just a matter of changing things up. Does that make sense? I really hope that makes sense. So if people are, you know, I'm not saying people are calling you delusional, but if it's one of those things where, you know, because I keep seeing it in my mind's eye. Like, say, for example, you know, people are like, oh, this poor thing, like, she keeps trying and trying and trying, and, like, nothing is, you know, progressing, and nothing is, you know, it's all about your approach. Like, you need to change your approach. And I feel like as soon as something, because you have to learn from your mistakes. And I feel like that's what's happening. You're not really learning from your mistakes, which is why every time you keep doing the same thing over and over, you're going to be getting the same results. Does that make sense? So as soon as you start changing your approach on how to do things, then that's when you're going to start seeing results. You know what I mean? So I would definitely take this time to learn and educate yourself, whatever the situation may be. Gain more knowledge, gain more perspective, gain more insight into the situation, and be open to receiving a lot of good things that are to come. All right. That is all I have for you today, my pile fours. Let's see if we pick up anything else. At the end of the day, I really don't feel as though you should move on from this. I feel like you should trust your intuition. You are correct. You will receive a lot of happiness along the way, but it is going to be a journey. All right, it's going to be a lot of lessons, a lot of things that you're going to learn about yourself and learn about the situation and how to handle it and navigate it. Okay. But that is all I have for you today, my pile fours. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share this video. Comment down below if you do feel called to do so. I would love to hear if this resonated. And I will see you next time. Bye.